Hey bitches, welcome back to my channel. I want to start this video out by saying, Kevin Federline, shut the f up. Nobody wants to buy your book, and we all know the reason that you're putting this out is because the money has dried up because your children turned 18, and now you need a paycheck. You didn't save nothing that you were getting from Britney over all those years, trying to cash in. Nobody wants to buy your book, dude. Like, this press tour that you've been on, all these clips that I have been seeing, just awful. Like, who is like buying this book? But anyways, moving on from that, let's talk about Tana Mongeau real quick, because the last time we were speaking about her, she was getting called out in one of those celebrity blind items. This blind item said that Tana Mongeau allegedly has been lying to her fans all this time when she's been saying that she's sober, and that allegedly behind the scenes, Tana was doing so much time on the slopes, if you know what I mean, that people are shocked that she has any money left in her bank account. Now, of course, this blind item came right on the heels of Lila Gibney getting called out for her horrendous ways. So people thought that Lila Gibney was kind of like feeding these to the press or the celebrity blind item website. That blind item went super viral over on TikTok, and Tana actually responded to it with her own video. I'm gonna play that for you in a second, but first, so before I go any further in this video, have y'all ever heard of flavored air? But also shout out to Fume for once again sponsoring my channel. Did you know that flavored air is quickly becoming the alternative to vaping and smoking? And Fume is actually at the forefront of it all. I told you guys before that I'm trying during the daytime to really cut back on a certain habit, if you know what I mean. And that is where Fume comes in. I was actually very excited when the company reached out to me again for another sponsorship because I have been using this every single day. It was honestly getting to the point for me where I was hitting my vape every single moment of every single day. Like, was I bored? Was I rewarding myself for completing a task? Who knows? Every single moment I was hitting that vape and I was just like sick and tired of it. I was like, I need to cut back on this a little bit. So Fume has really came in clutch when it comes to that, because this thing, I really truly do love this device. First of all, the fact that it's like a little fidget spinner as well is just like so entertaining for me, because I am someone, I have a little bit of a tick. I've never really talked about this tick, but I will literally sit here all day and I will just be rubbing my finger all back and forth on my fingernails. And sometimes I'll even take my fingernail and I'll start rubbing it across my lip. So thanks to Fume, on top of keeping me away from my vape during the day, at least until the hours of 5 p.m, because it's not too crazy. But as someone who clearly fidgets, and Dustin has even noticed this himself, I'm not doing that as much anymore. And I'm definitely not rubbing it across my lip. I'm literally just sitting there. I love this. I never got into the fidget spinners that you would spin around your finger, but this one, I really like this. Over 500,000 people have already added Fume into their daily routine, and honestly, I totally get why. Fume is an award-winning flavored air device that brings flavor to your mouth, not your lungs. And honestly, at 36, I need to start looking after my lungs, so thank you, Fume. I want to make this very clear. Fume is not a vape, not an e-cig. It is just flavored air. And for everyone out there that likes to vape, what is worse than getting on a flight and not being able to actually like hit it? Some of y'all are trying to risk it in the bathroom. I just know it, but you can use Fume anywhere with no restrictions. There's also no batteries and no charging. You just literally pick it up and go. If you are interested in checking out Fume for yourself, please check out the link below, which is tryfume.com/viewer's choice. Or you could use the QR code, which is somewhere here on the screen. For a limited time, if you order the Journey Pack and you use my code Viewer's Choice, you're going to get a free topper with your order. So once again, I want to say thank you to Fume for sponsoring my channel. And if you guys are curious what flavor I have inside of mine right now, it is the mint. And let me tell you, it truly does. It smells amazing. Oh, that just like really cleared out my nostrils.
Tana Mongeau is allegedly snorting Coca-Cola every day.
I had to come outside so I can scream at my phone. You know what I actually do find really funny about this is if you go to my TikTok page and you scroll to when I was last not sober, you will find across various videos and with various other people, influencers, in every setting really, you will find that my jaw was swinging, swinging. Like it was no secret to anyone. But
I do remember a lot of you remember the influencers, they call the paparazzi on themselves, the one that found James Charles by like the ice cream truck or whatever, how'd you find me here? But I remember Tana would call them a lot herself, and every time you would see her, that jaw would just be going from side to side, girl. That jaw was getting a workout, that is for sure.
I was doing, it was no secret to, and it's so funny too, looking back, because at the time I was like, no one knows I'm on coke. It's like, babe, everyone knows. I'm like, get ready. Obviously, that wasn't ever my everyday thing, and we all know alcohol was my everyday thing, but it's just so funny that anyone in their right mind thinks that I could possibly keep it a secret. Truly, if I could keep it a secret, I don't know if I would be sitting here like a year and some change sober. Because that was...
Yeah, but she said that like wasn't her thing. Alcohol was her thing. But if you were someone that liked to partake back in the day, currently, not trying to clock your tea, but if you drink, is that not going to make you like, you know, gonna go wee?
The problem, I couldn't keep it a secret. It was everybody's problem that Tana wanted to face a handle of Tito's and snort the floor. Why was I so offended about, like, I don't know how she has any money left. Like, I'm sitting here in my $5 million mansion. Somehow made it out. Somehow didn't spend it all on snow. I just love a blind item about me, too. It's just like, I'm so not that person. Like, you all would know. You'd be like, Chili's, please give me a sponsorship. I'm sober. Like, you would just know. Thank you. That's my TED Talk. Have a nice day.
So moving on from that, let's talk about Mikayla Nogueira real quick, because she is once again, you guys are probably so surprised by this, she is once again getting called out over on TikTok. This time, again, you're going to be so surprised, that she is getting called out for allegedly fishing for sympathy, fishing for some sales over on the TikTok shop, which I did look to see like how many units she sells. Remember, we used to like look at how many Jacqueline sold of that one sponsorship that she had, the collaboration, what was it, Beam, I believe, and it sold like 100. Mikayla sold like 12,000 of just one of her products, so congratulations, Mikayla, new supreme reigns. But Mikayla uploaded this video right here, and it's a bunch of compilations of her crying. I guess there's like this trend over on TikTok right now where you show yourself like at your lowest, or like when you're like very upset, which is what Mikayla did. She joined the trend. There is some sappy song behind this. Not exactly sure what the song is. Probably gonna have to mute it because you can play music over on TikTok. You can't do that here on YouTube. It sucks. But at the end of this clip is a bunch of clips of Mikayla succeeding and like how her life is going now, which is great. Congratulations to Mikayla. But y'all are gonna have to watch this clip with me, because the first time that I watched this clip, she's faking some of these tears. I did not see tears in so many of these. And if there was a tear, it was very much so giving like a Laura Lee apology where she was like trying to like push them out. So it was like one of those like thick tears, you know what I mean? Let's watch this clip real quick.
Fall in love. Tell this one.
This doesn't look real to me. This looks like this is so performative for the camera. Look, the caption said, "My spark was stolen from me by the evil of addiction, but I fought for it back this year." Which, congratulations to her. People were like, what addiction have you dealt with other than Cody? She's also been very vocal in the past about how she has struggled with an ED, but this doesn't look real to me. And I am someone that has sat down and I have cried many a time over on camera. I get it, it is completely fucking cringe. But why so many times is, I guess, my question. And see, this is just like a photo of her crying. Like, she's like, my makeup looks really good right now. So do my lips, because I just got them done. The upper lip was a little bit bigger than the bottom lip, which is a no-no. I don't know, maybe it's a still from a video. Look, it can be argued that the route that Mikayla Nogueira took to get to the top was a lot of manipulation and a lot of lies and literally just basically grifting off of her subscribers' pocketbook. But I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna hate on her for literally winning at life, okay? So moving on from that, I finally have an update for everyone out there as to where Eugenia Cooney has allegedly been. The last time that we spoke about her, we were talking about how Jeffree Star was literally going off on people over on TikTok because he was upset because people were in his chat always asking him questions about her. Like, hey, where's your friend? She hasn't been on this platform in a while. And if you know Eugenia Cooney, then you know that she would go live every single day over on TikTok. It's like how she made her money. She was literally on there almost all day, every day. And the number one thing that she was doing over there that I saw, she was selling Jeffree Star cosmetics. So technically she is one of his biggest sellers. So in my opinion, it's gotta be a little upsetting for him that she has not been allowed back on the platform. Like, huge chunk of sales are probably missing for him right now. But there has been a lot of speculation about what is going on with Eugenia Cooney. A lot of people thought that she was in some kind of treatment facility and she was actually going to try to like work on herself. Other people were just assuming that she finally got banned off of the TikTok platform and other social media platforms as well because she has not been posting at all anywhere. They assume that she finally got taken down from these platforms because she is a very polarizing figure. I will say it like that. Obviously, people that can see her and that are not living in some level of delusion themselves can see that Eugenia Cooney is not exactly promoting the healthiest of lifestyles, you know? And every time I say this when I speak of Eugenia Cooney, there's always some little warrior down in the comment section telling me that I'm wrong about this. She body checks in her videos. She does. If you don't know what body checking is, please go look it up because That's what she does. So Jeffree Star is one of the influencers that is getting called a liar over on TikTok because he defended Eugenia Cooney basically until he couldn't anymore. Because at first, and Jeffree was not the only influencer or person to do this, it was deny, 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 until they couldn't anymore, where people witnessed Eugenia Cooney literally have that episode where they thought that she was having a mini heart attack on her live stream. She could not even swallow water. Then it turned into Jeffree bitching at his audience, claiming that they really did not care about Eugenia. They were just there looking for the drama. And then Jeffree finally admitting to the audience that of course something is not right with Eugenia, which again, Cardi B in the courtroom. Well, apparently after Eugenia had a few public episodes to the point where now it cannot be ignored or denied that something is wrong with Eugenia Cooney, which again, I'm still stuck on how could you ever look at Eugenia Cooney and be like, yep, beacon of health. But there's this massive lawsuit going on against TikTok and other social media platforms because it's extremely addictive to minors. And basically that TikTok and other social media platforms can be very damaging to the youth's mental health. And it just so happens that one of the influencers that is being used in this lawsuit as an example and an exhibit, literally, is Eugenia Cooney. So I came across this video from Maya Papaya over on TikTok, and before I play it for you guys, I just want to say I'm surprised that it took this long for some kind of lawsuit like this to be brought against social media platforms and for Eugenia Cooney to be named as one of the exhibits, you know?
Eugenia Cooney is involved with a major lawsuit involving TikTok, which may explain some of her absence. Eugenia isn't suing TikTok, TikTok isn't suing Eugenia. There's a bunch of people suing TikTok claiming that TikTok is addictive and a bad influence on the youth mental health. Eugenia Cooney is being used as a specific example for this argument in this lawsuit. In this lawsuit, they want to find out the relationship between TikTok and Eugenia and how TikTok has platformed Eugenia, if her content is found to be harmful, etc. So in this document right here, they're requesting a lot of specific information. They want to know about Eugenia Cooney's collapse on live stream. I want to go ahead and clarify that Eugenia has never collapsed on live stream. I'm sure she's fainted before, but it's never been recorded or been on live. I think what this document is referring to was the big medical event that Eugenia had earlier in the year that went completely viral. This was
Which, by the way, after this, you guys remember when Jeffree Star was pretending to be like all concerned about his friend, getting on to the people in the chat saying you guys don't really care about Eugenia, but then went on a live stream with his other friend, Paul Dow, and they were literally making fun of her choking because Paul Dow almost choked on his water? Some friend, right?
the event many people believe to be some sort of cardiac event, but she did look extremely unwell, and yes, this was live streamed. So they want to know about that collapsing event on live stream. And then after this event, Eugenia had a meeting at the TikTok New York office. They want to know about her specific meeting, what happened in that meeting, any documents exchanged during that meeting. Basically, this lawsuit wants to determine if TikTok is liable for any of the harm caused by Eugenia Cooney since they platformed her. Now, here's an interesting argument for TikTok. TikTok has put Eugenia basically on probation. I'm sure some of you remember when Eugenia first got on TikTok on here, she was posting pro-Anna content like crazy. She went super viral. But then suddenly TikTok cracked down on her. This was after some streaming event which Eugenia was in the finalists for, but it was speculated that Eugenia was pulled out of the finalists because of her pro-Anna content. Very shortly after that, Eugenia had a meeting at the TikTok office in New York. And I will say, as somebody that makes content on here, it is incredibly strange and unique that Eugenia is having in-person meetings with people from TikTok. TikTok has a horrible support system. It's pretty much impossible to reach an actual person. It's pretty much all automated, and it's a nightmare as a creator if you're having an actual problem. So the fact that Eugenia has regular in-person meetings with people from the TikTok office is certainly strange. I have never heard of another creator having to do this for anything.
Now that she mentions that, I don't think that I've ever heard another creator bring up that they've had like an in-person meeting with TikTok. I've seen people actually go to the TikTok offices because they do like a lot of collabs like that, but like a dedicated, I'm just going to the office for a meeting, not doing one of like the TikTok shop live streams or something where you're going to be on TikTok's accounts as well. I guess that is a little weird. You know what that just made me think of? Remember when there were a few influencers that were having meetings with the old CEO of this platform right here, and they were trying to get rid of drama channels because they were doing it in defense of James Charles, saying that we were all so toxic? Anyways.
But it was after this meeting and after they demonetized her the first time, because the result of this was that she was demonetized completely and age restricted for at least a
Hasn't she been age restricted and demonetized many times over during her whole entire time on social media? So that was nothing new to Eugenia Cooney, and I think that maybe she's like, I'm just gonna get it back. This seems like the longest, at least in my time of knowing about Eugenia Cooney, that she has been off of social media. Am I right in that? Am I wrong? Let me know down in the comment section.
Couple of months. They then allowed her to have some monetization back, but she had heavy restrictions. She was not allowed to post any of that triggering content anymore. She had to cover up explicitly in her live streams and in her videos. I will also add, during this time when she was completely demonetized, she didn't post for months. This was the first hiatus from the internet where she did not post for months because she was just really upset. She didn't like that this was the first time there was consequences to her actions.
I love how I just asked that question and I'm already getting the answer. Thank you, Maya Papaya.
But she was back on TikTok for a little while, just heavily restricted, like I said, basically on probation. That was until she had that medical event, right? She had the meeting at the TikTok office, and she got completely demonetized again. The interesting thing about this lawsuit is it started in 2022. Okay, and what people are floating the idea of is that, you know, this lawsuit is really picking up right now. Did TikTok ban her again after this, just as a precautionary level, to make themselves look better? Has the lawsuit been known since the first time Eugenia got age restricted / demonetized? Lots of questions here.
So after hearing all of that, I have to agree with everyone out there that's thinking it. I think that Eugenia Cooney has not been posting on social media because she was demonetized, because she has been named in this lawsuit in that way. Now, I know it's not TikTok suing Eugenia. Eugenia's not suing TikTok. She's just been named as like an example. But these companies do not like being dragged into lawsuits. They will literally put these people on pause. It's like when James Charles, Shane Dawson, all these influencers got into drama over here on YouTube. All of a sudden, their monetization was snatched away from them. I believe the time that they gave them was just like a standard 2 months. So I don't know how long this is going to go on. I don't know a time frame of when Eugenia Cooney is going to be allowed back on the TikTok platform. Bro, this lawsuit could go on for a good long while. Maya Papaya said this lawsuit has been going on since 2022. It's now 2025. We're about to go into 2026. Wouldn't it be great, like, this whole time that Eugenia has not been allowed on social media, that people were right, that she was actually like in treatment, like working on herself and all that. And when she returns and people finally see her again, it's like a completely different person. I think that's what's going to happen for Britney Spears one day. I do. I truly do. I'm holding out hope. It's going to happen for Wendy Williams as well. So with all that said, everyone, that is it for this video. I hope that you did enjoy it. Please check out this video's sponsor, Fume, at the link below or the QR code somewhere on the screen. If you have made it this far in the video, I have to give this spiel, of course. Please hit the hype button as well as the subscribe and the thumbs up. Please make sure your notifications are on so you get notified of every single new video. If you have made it this far in the video, I have a question for you guys because I'm about to go put up our Christmas tree in the corner of our bedroom. I posted this over on Facebook and it was a very mixed reaction. Some people like to decorate for Christmas prior to Halloween, and some people wait until after Thanksgiving. So I want to take a poll, but also let me know when you decorate for the holidays. If you decorate for Christmas before Halloween, leave me a Christmas tree down below. Or if you are someone that was like, oh hell no, I have to have my spooky Halloween stuff, leave me a jack-o'-lantern down below in the comment section, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye.